This Monday Night Football props and NFL recap week 3 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code SGPN to score up to $1,000 in bonus cash. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking that money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
You seem to be in a better mood.
Yes.
Is that an accurate statement?
Oh, 100%. It's easy to see a tide turn. What a gambling Sunday. It was started off with the Jets -6 there on the Thursday, Saturday, hitting both of my locks. Illinois was the Monday night or the money line dog on Friday. Hit both my college football locks. Utah.
Can I pause you for a second?
Colorado.
I did parlay that with a Stanford money line. Oh.
And BYU Illinois money line, which we gave out on the College Football Picks podcast, rolling into Sunday, almost a little nervous. Like, oh man, this can't be happening. This can't be a back-to-back lock with a juicy back-breaking loss on the money line for the San Francisco 49ers. So the way Sundays go for me, did the Eagles win? Already a good Sunday. Okay. And then we take it to the next level. Did the Cowboys lose? Oh, now we got ourselves a Sunday. Did I hit both my locks? Yes. Did we hit a money line dog? Yes. 4-1 in the million. It was just a fucking awesome Sunday. Shout out to us, Ryan. I mean, Carson Steele didn't get his touchdown.
No, he didn't.
That was a slight disappointment. I mean, we're talking Andy Dalton passing ladders kind of Sunday. And if Adam Thielen didn't exhaust himself catching that touchdown pass, he was alive for 2, right? The book should grade that as a win, 2 touchdowns. You know, he was getting one in the second.
When he grabbed his hamstring, Sean just goes, no.
I immediately was sending up prayers.
It went from yes to no.
He's writhing around in pain. Then I kept being like, they didn't rule him out yet. He's coming back. Ryan, just awesome. And hey,
Sean,
your team won?
Sergio has a question for you.
Sure.
I threw it up on the screen for you. I figure I don't even want to read it for you. Feel like you can.
Sergio checking in saying, are the Giants for real?
I can also add some more color to that. I got a text from host of the WNBA NBA gambling podcast, Terrell. Quote, they pulling us back in, aren't they?
Yeah, Ryan, you also had a very good Sunday, starting with your team, the New York Football Giants, getting a win. What else? I mean,
don't go any further than that,
sure,
because I also did the think way too far in advance inventory in my head, and I said, Malik Neighbors, most receiving yards in the league, still in play. Malik Neighbors, offensive player of the year, still in play.
Hey, my Neighbors 275 to 1.
He's on pace for 141 catches, 1,547 yards, and 17 touchdowns. Sean,
it was great because Ryan said my plus 275, Malik Neighbors, and he goes, clarify, not plus 275, 275 to 1. That is still alive. Yeah, I guess we're moving on from the Will Levis era of the show.
No, we are not, because Brian Callahan said he will start next week, and they are short favorites on the road in Miami against Tim Boyle.
God damn that guy! Because this Titans team, I swear, is good, and I'll be eating some crow here on some of the plays. Not a ton though. Pretty good straight up record as well. But certainly did not see a back-to-back performance by Malik Willis. I mean, yeah, I mean, Will Levis throwing the pick six, that's always going to break the back of the team. But I thought Malik Willis played well. Hats off to the Packers, like good game plan. And that first win against the Colts, to me, it was a little bit fluky running the ball that many times. But the Packers looked really good. And so shout out to them for going on the road, getting a win in Tennessee. And I swear that Tennessee Titans defense is pretty good. I think they're cracking a little bit under the pressure of Will Levis, Ryan.
It's never good when a grown man playing quarterback in the National Football League, one of 32, does something so stupid and then just puts his hands on his head like he's gonna get spanked. He looked like a kid that was gonna have to go sit in the corner with a red ass because he was getting spanked. It's horrible, but we might have to bet on him one more week, Sean. I know. I said I was taking.
I don't know if I can do it. And then eating some crow and Sam Darnold. You were on the Vikings, Ryan. Good call for you on that. I was skeptical. I was like, hey, I need to see a third game out of Sam Darnold. And he, like the Jordan meme, he heard that. He took it personally. Vikings looked great. I know the Vikings were bummed out. It was JJ McCarthy out for the season. Everything's going wrong. And I mean, now that the Saints got knocked off, they are one of the best teams right now in the NFC. I'm still, I guess, slightly skeptical of how they're going to play out the rest of the season, but I cannot take shots at how they've looked so far.
Again, have a plan. The defense is now, the galaxy braining here is, well, Daniel Jones, maybe that performance against the Vikings not looking as bad since CJ Stroud did not look good either, Sean. So the defense, bigger story. Sam Darnold. Yeah. I still think Sam Darnold is a little bit on a thread with some of the throws. I do think that I think we're going to have a bad Sam Darnold game, and we have to resist being like, he's all the way back. Like there's going to be a road spot coming up in the next 3 to 4 weeks where Sam Darnold throws like 3 picks and just looks bad.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how he deals with adversity. And I mean, I guess that's a great problem to have if you're a Vikings fan, if you're a Vikings backer. Shout out to Stefan Cunningham saying he hit a Broncos, Panthers, Rams money line parlay plus 32.78. I gave that out on the VSiN show. I included Miami, unfortunately, as well. I pushed it up to 110 to 1. I got a little greedy.
Both of us,
but
Sean.
Honestly,
Miami boned my parlay as well.
If the
4 out of 5, son of a bitch.
Miami was like not the team I was hesitant to add on. Like the team I added on was the Panthers. Dude, so that was like to me that one was, and it was the shortest of the whole 4. Like Ryan, the only mistake you made in the Dolphins is that now we know dogs over 6 and more. That dogs of 6 and more. Shout out to Scott Seidenberg, Ryan, friend of the program. He had this nugget. We knew it coming in, and it's continuing. 11-1 ATS, 7 outright wins. So if you're not getting down on some money line dogs so far this season, you've been missing out. Crazy run.
And probably a good time because we have. And real quick, I just got distracted by the chat because. Shout out to D-Bettis. I'm sure he's feeling good today. Is Kramer off the Falcons and Titans wagon yet? What wagon was I on with the Falcons, sir?
Yeah, he gave out most losses.
I got most losses, and your fucking Eagles are all that stands between
really
me
close to 0-3
and a nice sweat here. But we should pause because the Dolphins there was no hesitation because of the NFL slot machine, of course, and we haven't talked about this on the podcast.
Slot. How's the slot?
But as folks know who listen, we're regulars at the NFL slot machine at the Circa, beautiful Circa Las Vegas. But in the off season, they moved it from by the sports book to upstairs over by Saginaw's and Stadium Swim. And so going to play it was like an excursion. It was like, I'm going to go to the upstairs thing to go hang out with no one because no one hangs out over there.
Yeah, it's like the area you walk by to go up to Stadium Swim.
So we were hanging out with Derek last week after the show.
Well, we should also talk about our buddies.
We'll get to that. Yeah, it's a good it's a whole story. But we basically were hanging out with Derek after the show, and we make mention of the fact that the NFL slot machine. Like basically it's bullshit that it's up here. And why don't you put it back to where it was near the sports book in the VSiN studio before? It's football season, Derek. And it just happened that the guy who makes those kind of decisions for Derek was sitting right next to him. And Derek just with one of those nice backhanded like buddy slaps goes, "You gotta move the slot machine for these
Get
guys."
it going. He goes, "It's your lucky day. This is the guy that can make it happen." And I saw him do a voice memo, and wouldn't you know, Ryan, we were back there on Friday.
Yeah,
the slot machine was moved down, and we ran into two listeners. One guy was just turned 21. They're Browns fans. Unfortunate for them today. We'll get to that later, but they're Browns fans. It was their first trip out to Vegas. You know, Derek's talking to them. We were just hanging out drinking with Derek. They recognized us. They came over. They said, "What's up?" Derek's buying them drinks.
Major flex for us with the security guys.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh wait, they wanted to talk to you." Like, yeah, kind of a big deal.
Nice backhanded compliment.
Yeah, Jacob was one of the guys' name, and big Browns fans, friends of the show, and they're like, "Yeah, the guy just turned 21, having an awesome trip in Vegas. Circus so cool." And Derek's like, "You know what's better than your first trip to Vegas? Your second trip. Hey, when the Raiders come, when the Browns come out to play the Raiders, you're staying on us. We got you covered." So now these guys, yeah, they're gonna have a free hotel stay out at Circuit, courtesy of Derek. So that's the kind of shenanigans we get into.
And we touched on this in the pregame show, but the accomplishment of having a casino redecorate their floor because of you.
Yes.
It's up there with cashing a ticket at a sports book that didn't have enough cash to pay me and had to give me chips.
It is a flex getting a casino. Well, also, I mean, again, people think we're, marks for the circuit, but name me another casino. We've been to them all, Ryan, in Las Vegas, where there's a decent chance the owner of the casino is hanging out, drinking, buying people beers, buying people shots, whatever, and just chopping it up. And you can talk to him like he's a regular guy. Like you don't get that anywhere. I mean, most casinos aren't owned by a guy, or there's not a face. You know what I mean? It's like a corporation owned by a bunch of stockholders. Yeah. Literally corporate gambling.
Corporate dicks.
I mean, come on. You're not going to be hanging out at the bar and Steve wins buying people drinks and you go, "Steve, I really like it if you move the NFL slot machine over here." Steve Wynn would tell you to fuck yourself. Not Derek. Derek loves the action.
Steve Wynn would have someone else tell you go fuck yourself. Like he's not a man of the people.
Maybe if there's like another like tiny small casino, but I don't know, man. It's a free circuit promo as Terrell's saying, but it really is like we're there every Friday, and been bumping into a bunch of fans. So if you come out to Vegas for a weekend, you should be hanging out at the circuit anyway. But every Friday 8 to 11 we're doing the VSiN show, and then once 11 the show's done, we're always wandering around hitting the tables, feel like slot machine.
I was gonna say I feel like we might have a new midnight slot spins for people on the chat. Super chat slot spins.
Yes.
I'm just excited about the idea of proxy slot spinning.
Kramer, we got a lot to get to.
Do we?
Recap some of the games, and then give our Monday night props, first touchdown bets. Rapid fire in some of these recaps, because I feel like we've hit on a bunch already, but Jets 24-3. This was Thursday night. Horrible spot for the Jets, or sorry, horrible spot for the Pats. They were never winning that game.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Yeah, I mean, it seems obvious in hindsight, but
situation spot, it was horrible.
Yeah. Also,
do you think? And we were kind of discussing this. Are you in on Aaron Rodgers? Right?
Yeah. Well, relative to what I'm seeing from most quarterbacks in the National Football League, yes, by a mile.
Yeah,
completely fine with it.
I
also like that he's telling his coach to fuck off, stop celebrating. Like I think at best it was stop celebrating in the middle of the game, and at worst it was fucking like Alan Lazard needs to play more, motherfucker. But yeah, other than that, all rosy. And another first round fantasy casualty, as it seems the Jets like Braylon Allen more than Bryce Hall.
It is. I think Saquon Barkley right now, Ryan, might be one of the best first round fantasy picks, or like just top fantasy pick period.
Honestly, you can even cheat a little bit, like with Marvin Harrison was going there at number 12 for a little bit. He's doing all right. Taylor had a nice-ish game today.
Well, it's been just a super sloppy season in general. Mel Kiper was probably enraged with all the too high safety being played, but I mean, it's creating a ton of variance. Like we read the stat about all the live dogs. It's fucking awesome.
Someone did ask me, is Colby going to get back in on NFL?
I ran a poll. Who is more to blame, or what has been worse, quarterback play or coaching decision making? And I think this applies. We'll get to Sirianni. I'm going to shove him in a locker in a rare win, locker shoving. But quarterback play has been really down and bad, and coaching decisions, I feel like just casually. The poll finished. There are 124 votes, 47.6 say coaching decisions, 52.4 quarterback play. So it does feel like both have been kind of frustrating, but also it's fun for the game.
My take would be there's clearly there seems to be a pretty decent gap between the coaches that are developing well. Cause I think it's more than just decision making. I also think it's putting guys in the right spot. Like Sam Darnold, to me, we know who Sam Darnold was. A lot of this is the coaching staff, not just making decisions in the game, but the prep and the game planning. Like clearly
and LaFleur. I mean, if you had
clearly a great play call.
If you had any, is
Jordan Love that good?
I mean, it certainly doesn't look great for Jordan Love. That Malik Willis offense hasn't missed a step.
So Sean, if you look at overall fantasy scoring this year,
yeah. Oh, fantasy must be so in shambles. Wait till they announce Christian McCaffrey is not coming back this year.
Of the top picks in the first round, these are the ones who are still ranked in the top 12. Saquon Barkley, who's overall number 1. Bryce Hall, who is overall number 5 still. That just speaks to the level of what's happening in fantasy. Justin Jefferson, who's 7. And that's it. Jonathan Taylor, 13. It's crazy. Like Kamara, Neighbors, Godwin, like Sam Darnold's the number 1 quarterback. I mean, it's just like Baker Mayfield's number 2.
Andy Dalton,
Nico Collins, Jalen Hurts is up there.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, top 12. Who saw that coming?
I try and tell my Eagles group text. Some of them don't watch the rest of the league as much. And they're, shitting on Jalen Hurts. I'm like, yeah, Hurts is having a weird season because he's made a lot of high level throws. He's made some big plays. And then obviously the turnovers have been horrible, but I'm pointing out that like compared to the rest of the league, he's doing pretty damn good. Like he's still a top 10 quarterback right now, even with all those turnovers. That's what a weird season it's been.
Kind of feels like that's going to be his year. He's going to be relied on a bit more. Defense is going to be a little leaky.
We'll get to that game in a bit. But Steelers 20, Chargers 10.
Have they lost yet, Sean?
No.
Arthur Smith must just be rock hard going home from the office every week. Just rock hard.
And Fields, this was actually Fields looking pretty good throwing the ball. And I thought the Chargers played a pretty damn good game. Created some turnovers. Their energy and pad level, like, dude, I'm telling you, Harbaugh has got that team up. The score might not reflect it, but they were in that game, and then Herbert finally collapsed under the issue of dealing with the high ankle sprain. They had to pull him, and then they kind of lost their momentum. Justin Fields, first time he's ever won 3 games in a row.
Just need to get out of Chicago. I mean, this is what I would say. This, especially with the Harbaugh take, to your coaching point, it shows you that practicing football makes you a better football team. And I think a lot of teams have gotten away from practicing football.
A big thud, Steelers fan in the chat saying Chargers had -5 yards total offense in the second half. Stat of the day. Yeah, here we go.
The difference in this game was Herbert going out. So.
Yeah, and I still think the Steelers get the win and the cover. It just became a little less competitive once he was out.
Maybe. I do think he was the difference in they had nothing once he went out. Yeah, Taylor Heineke
they were competitive. It was a back and forth game. They still have a shot. I still think the fact that they were at home, TJ Watt was due for a big play.
You were on the right side.
Yeah,
that's what
I got you there.
That's what you want.
Another right side, my other lock. Colts 21, Bears 16. Colts did not look good. Caleb Williams threw for 363 yards somehow. There was that funny play of they caught a Hail Mary at the 1 to end the second half.
Not funny, Sean.
The Colts.
I had a DJ Moore under that he 100% got because of that bullshit. Yeah, I mean, Caleb Williams did not look good, but had good stats. Anthony Richardson looks horrible. Is he now the worst quarterback in the NFL? Like, it's a now that Bryce Young's benched.
Oh
no.
No.
He doesn't want to run anymore.
Yeah.
His throws are comically bad.
That interception in the end zone was up there with one of the worst throws I've seen this season, and we've seen a bunch of bad throws.
His bad throws are the worst. Deshaun Watson has the worst out of bounds, like by 15 yards throws, but Anthony Richardson says, "Fuck it, I'll do that in the middle of the field."
Ryan, Olon Johnson wants to know, Ryan, can Caleb be fixed?
I will say this: if I was a defensive coordinator, I would just every time I'd send heat from the left side and force him to roll out to his left.
He has very little awareness, and he holds on to the ball too long.
And he tries to make the across the body rolling out to the left throw every time. And it's what 1 out of 5 is good. The other 4 are just like Russian roulette.
My take on Caleb Williams is I think Eberflus and what they got going offensively was just never going to be a match for him. Like they should have just fired him. I understand he finished the second half of the season strong.
Now they're fucking up a quarterback.
Like this. It was just that offense was never going to work. And I think the Bears defense has played pretty good, especially considering they're getting nothing from their offense.
Yes, but we were right about this team before the season. They should not have the win total they had. And honestly, even a mediocre, this speaks to how bad they are, because this Colts defensive line is nothing right now.
Who's worse, Ryan? We got an interesting AR-15 or Caleb Williams. I would definitely rather have AR-15.
Caleb Williams just played his 3rd NFL game.
No.
Anthony Richardson has had a full off season.
I'm saying right now, for like game next week, I'd much rather have AR-15. I don't know.
I don't know if I could say that, dude. Some of those that interception in the end zone, Sean. These fucking darts. He's throwing lawn darts out there. You got a can in there, and you're like, and then he won't run people over. Guy's soft.
Vikings 34, Texans 7. Ryan, congrats. You called it. Vikings. I didn't see this coming. I thought Darnold was due to unravel, but the defense played really well, and Minnesota. Yeah, obviously nothing was lucky about this win, but also just eye test. The Vikings are a team that seem to have every little bounce, kind of break, tip ball going their way, but and I'm not even trying to be a hater. I just like when things are going well, we see this all the time. You also end up kind of getting the breaks. Like they work in concert together.
I think I agree on the offensive side.
Yeah.
On the defensive side, I think they're just dominating.
Defense has been, yeah. I mean,
Flores is fucking pissed. Tua called him a terrible person.
I liked Flores as a DC. I didn't think they had the horses to run this kind of defense, but their defense has been dominant. So, Kyle Vikings fan, our boy Kyle up there in Canada, who's a big Vikings fan, big skull guy. He's got to be stoked.
You know what should have been the tip that we should have paid attention to when Gilmore signed there. Some vet ain't gonna go to a team to suck.
No, he must have known.
He saw something.
Hey Ryan, have you signed up? sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Just cashed Chiefs -3 over there. I just got down on some Cincinnati Bengals laying the 7 there. Nice option over on BetUS. You can never have too many books. I mean, come on, you know how the game's played. You always want a couple extra outs. What the great thing about BetUS, available so many states, all across America. U.S. players welcome. They got a sweet deposit bonus when you use our link and promo code sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Make sure you got the promo code SGP in there. Make sure you go to the link sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. Toss us a bone. And yeah, they got it all. Obviously, a bunch of good live in-game stuff. The casino can't be beat. You guys, do I have to really explain how a sportsbook is and why you should get down over on sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus?
Yeah, I aggressively invested in the Steelers this week over there.
Oh, well, and yeah, pulling back the curtain. This is a great example of why you should have options like BetUS. We were posting up, hadn't made it to the circuit yet. We were kind of killing some time, took an early flight in, finishing the rundown, getting ready for the VSiN show later that night. And I see the news about Herbert admitting to the press that he has a high ankle sprain. I'm like, oh shit, I got to get more. I was planning on betting it at the Circa because at the time the Circa had the best price. But then I was like, oh, this line is going to move. I got to get in while the getting is good.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately fired up sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus, got in over there and locked in a sweet price. So yeah, you got to have options.
Yeah. It's like food and women, right?
Yes. And it was yeah. So get down sportsgamblingpodcast.com/betus. All right, Kramer. What else do we got here? Oh, your Giants 21-15. I was a little skeptical. This is a great example of that the 1-1 team versus the 0-2 team. But really, the example is Deshaun Watson just fucking sucks. He sucks, man. He sucks. And I didn't actually bet this game. I picked the Browns because I just was skeptical of the Giants for good reason. But
I'm not touching Deshaun Watson.
How many?
Speaking of teams that have
how many games can they let Deshaun Watson start? When does Stefanski pull the plug?
Giants fumbled the opening kickoff, and the first play was a controversial touchdown to Amari Cooper. It's 7-0, Sean. 30 seconds into the game. And they still managed to shit the bed against the Giants team that had a plan. Giants defensive line just absolutely took advantage of this Browns offensive line. 8 sacks. I mean, I remember on the Giants preview trail said most sacks in the NFL.
Yeah, look out. Good week for that.
And I would say that, yeah, Watson is in that same class with Richardson, where there's just some of the inaccuracy is not even believable.
No, and
then he does stuff like drop the football.
Yeah, I think
get Jameis in there. He's already your QB sneak guy.
I think Deshaun Watson, I would say, is the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Are you adjusting for salary?
I think I'm grading on a curve here because the team around Cleveland is so good, right? And you know that because Deshaun Watson has thrown for 300 yards 0 in 15 games for the Browns. Joe Flacco threw for 300 yards in 5 out of his 6 games, and he was winning games. Like, we have a reminder of what this team looked like without Deshaun Watson in there, right? So, and you know what made me think Bryce Young sucks even harder? Once I saw Andy Dalton get behind the center, right? It highlights how bad these guys are.
So you're saying that there's not a guy in the NFL that if you swap spots, the Browns offense gets better or doesn't get better. Like Anthony Richardson swaps into the Cleveland situation.
I kind of like it. I like it a little better than Deshaun Watson.
And Deshaun, there was one point in the game where that motherfucker was celebrating, and I go, "You don't celebrate." Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my biggest takeaway, and I said this to you earlier today.
Yes,
the Giants' offensive line is not a talking point for the 3rd straight game.
That's great.
Malik Neighbors, best receiver in the league. It's a good starting point.
You guys are building
defensive line. Looks Dexter Lawrence was destroying double teams all day.
If you guys get a quarterback, look out. And we have some.
This
callers.
makes Jameis harder to get. I'm
just hoping Danny Dimes keeps it going for what he's got to get to game 5, and then I can start licking my chops on these lowers over at Underdog Fantasy.
With Malik Neighbors, you got to be a little worried.
We got Terrell Furman checking in.
Oh, wow.
On the Discord line. If you are a subscriber to Discord, hop in, raise your hand. We'll get to some calls here right now. Terrell Furman, you're on the line. How about them Giants?
Oh, Victory Monday on the East Coast over here. Happy Victory Monday to those who celebrate.
Yeah.
We'll take it. And you know what? We enjoy the good moments. Now, I don't enjoy him not throwing a pick throughout that whole game. That was very, very frustrating. I feel like if there was ever a game where he could throw a pick in and mean nothing more, it was against Deshaun Watson and those 8 sacks that we got against him. By the way, 50-1, really, really good right now.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, Sean, what was the number you have on Danny Dimes? Because 600 yards, 4 touchdowns.
You
know.
Oh, it was 18 and a half passing touchdowns.
Okay.
So he's not on what is he? Is he on pace for it?
Of course.
Is he?
Yeah. He said he had 0 in game 1, 2 a game after that.
Okay.
So this is and this is where I have to pause the show because I need to speak to the masses because
Yes.
Kramer's not going to listen. So for us not to be enablers here, and this is my call to action. We cannot be enablers of bad football. I think that across the league, this is a common practice in a lot of camps with their quarterback situation where people enable bad football. Look, and I want you to think of it like this. When you have a good player and they have a bad game, you just say, shrug it off. Hey, it's fine. You'll get them back. You'll have another good game. When a bad player has a good game, let's not think that's the norm. Not be talking about this past the next 13 games. This should be the last 13 games of this experience, and then it's over. Please do not make me go through another year of this.
These are 2 independent things, though. No, I mean seriously, I don't. I think the ship has sailed.
Yeah.
At this point, the best case scenario is he's a bridge quarterback to someone next year. In the worst case scenario, they're too good and they can't draft high enough to get a quarterback again.
He's gonna take it to 7 and 10.
But I would say this: I didn't think there was nothing about what he did in this game. Got a bad interception, bailed out with a penalty. Nothing he did in this game has changed my opinion on Daniel Jones. What I will
Still
say
franchise quarterback?
No, my opinion of the defense, the opinion of the defensive coordinator to rapidly change his approach, to tailor a defensive game plan for the quarterback he's facing, very good. The general performance of the front 7, very good. Back end still bad, and the offense had a plan. And 2 guys on the offense were repeatedly getting open and winning, Wan'Dale Robinson and Malik Neighbors. So
you hear that, audience? He's back. He's buying in.
That's the scouting report.
That's
plan. And Terrell,
you see what they do.
The offensive line is fixed.
All right, Terrell. Thank you for hopping on. Subscribe to the WNBA Gambling Podcast. The playoffs are here.
Caitlin Clark really is. I'd like to.
Are you changing your tune on Caitlin, Ryan?
I'm impressed with her grit.
Good.
I'm impressed with her grit.
Clark, not very good.
Kramer, come on. It's the WNBA playoffs.
Hey.
Clark, not very good.
Hey,
All right. All right. Thanks for calling in, Terrell.
she got defended pretty well. And hey, we gave out Alyssa Thomas triple double at plus 750. I don't know too many other shows that did that.
Oh boy, if only we, no disrespect to the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is about as deep as it goes with the names.
We got another caller here. He's a Patreon member. Patreon members, Ryan, get priority on the Discord. Yeah, that's a new thing.
Even if they're Bears fans.
Yeah, even if they're Bears fans. Joining us on the line, Bears super fan. You remember him from the preview, Mr. Olan Johnson. What's happening, Olan?
Man, rough fucking day. Yeah, it's you see what's happening out there. Our defensive playing fucking lights out.
Defense is playing good.
Our offense is just a fucking mess. Then you got Justin Fields. He's a 3-0 team right now, and and then you want to know some shit. I don't know if y'all remember. I said this morning, Sean. I took the money line. Panthers, Andy Dalton over 210 yards. Adam Thielen 2 touchdowns, 58-1 parlay.
No.
He catches the touchdown and goes out with his hammy, bro.
Dude, I know. I was.
Oh.
And you knew Adam Thielen was catching another one. You knew it.
Yes, absolutely he would have. I mean, Andy Dalton, the red fucking rifle man, lit them up.
Oh, it was a great day. Hit the passing ladder. So, all right.
I was watching the local after Sunday night LA football show, like some contest show, and one of the hosts had a great nickname for Andy Dalton, Sean, Raggedy Andy, which I guess quite wrong on this day.
Dick Puncher checking in saying the O in O-land is actually for O offense on or zero offense on the Bears. I thought he was going to go for like an O-line joke.
Oh man, just go for that low hanging fruit. I mean, you can't expect more from a Packer fan after breaking a fucking cheddar.
All right. Well, actually, let's see. He might be available. I'm going to try and maybe we can get an NFC North little battle going right here if he's available. Dick Puncher, you're on the line now. How say you?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
I mean, that Bears game today. I mean, it was two teams trying to throw the game away back and forth.
No,
it was really riveting to be honest.
It felt like we were fighting for the number one pick.
That was, I mean, that was just, it was over from the moment it began, right? But the Bears, I will say, that was an exciting game.
363 for Caleb.
Yeah,
the defense looks amazing. Special teams are good, and I don't know if it's the line, I don't know if it's Caleb, I don't know if it's the play calling, I don't know if it's a combination of all of it. But it's like, dude, it's fucking frustrating, man. You go through this shit, and it's like, we got all these picks, and we finally have hope. And
Hard Knocks is the worst thing that happened to Bears fans, Ryan.
Oh yeah, the worst thing that happens to every fan base.
We were
Hard
hanging
Knocks
out.
is normally what I give my wife after a winning night, but I mean, apparently not tonight.
That's the closer. That's the closer.
All right, Olan, I'm gonna let you go. You're not gonna be able to top that.
Well, yeah, you'll do better next week.
Go Bears. Dick Puncher, how'd you do on the day? Any Mike Evans? No anytime touchdown, unfortunately for you. How'd the rest of the card treat you?
Correct. So that was actually the only negative of the entire early slate. The early slate, I went 3-0 with the Colts, the Packers, and the Steelers.
Oh.
And then after that, in the afternoon slate, I went like 1-3, and it kind of balanced out. But I'll say, yeah, Packers. I mean, well, the Titans dropped the wrong quarterback, guys. They dropped the wrong quarterback. I'm telling you right now. I don't know if you guys saw. Hold on, let me bring up this stat. They posted this like in the middle of the third quarter of the Titans Packers game.
Oh yeah, it's great.
This was Malik Willis as a Titan starter for 3 starts versus a Packers starter for 2 starts. So fewer starts, right? For the Titans, 51% completion percentage. For the Packers, 83%. Yards for the Titans, 234. Yards for the Packers, 324. Touchdown interception ratio for the Titans, 0 and 3. For the Packers, 2 and 0. Also 114 yards rushing and a rushing touchdown for the Packers. His passer rating for the Titans was 39. His passer rating for the Packers, 131.7.
He's so rock hard right
now.
It's truthfully though, it's LaFleur. I mean, on the preseason, Packers look ahead show, I was, very up on LaFleur, and like I was down on any individual Packers receiver because LaFleur schemes the guys wide open all the time, and it's like Love is very good, but I mean LaFleur is really the like amazing one. Like I think that's been on full display the past 2 weeks, where he takes Willis and he shows like what he is capable of as an offensive schemer, as you will.
So does Jordan Love start when healthy?
QB controversy?
Of course. I mean, he has, way more of the playbook opens up. Obviously, you have Jordan Love start. But the other big thing is Hafley's defense.
Yeah.
I mean, ever since last season, right? We finally sent Joe Barry to the Hamas tunnels, right? Absolutely terrible DC. I'm sure Sean can relate with that. Finally getting out from under the oppression of that. But we have 7 interceptions all of last year. Through 3 games, we have 6. Right? Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. The defense is swarming. We're getting pressure constantly. We're just like, it's unbelievable. It does not look like a Packers defense. It's been incredible.
McKinney's pretty good.
All right, Dick Puncher, thank you for getting us fired up on the pregame show.
I can't wait for Love to come back and for them to lose.
That will be crazy.
Does he start next week, Dick Puncher?
I let him go. I don't know. I mean, supposedly he was really close. Didn't think he was.
I watched him warming up, doing a little for TV, like a for the cameras bootleg action. He didn't look broken, but he kind of looked like Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
And we saw it in the game. Justin Herbert, because of his mobility, got caught up in some stuff, and it made it worse. Now the boo-boo is going to last longer. And Sean, I said it when it happened, but I was very happy to not be watching with Justin Decker.
Oh yeah.
I didn't need.
But Decker's happy with the 2-1 start. He is. I guarantee you, he is. And Harbaugh had that team playing hard. Like they were just.
Yeah.
It was just a tough spot. Herbert's banged up. They were never going to win that game, but I still think they're a very good team, or at least a very well coached team. He's getting the most out of those guys.
Well, I like the story Decker told us about Quentin Johnston. Basically, he was asked last year, and Harbaugh goes, "I need you to be the player that we couldn't stop."
Dude, Quentin Johnston,
in the college football playoffs.
He's good.
Yeah, I mean he's back.
He's back. Eagles 15, Saints 12. Man, this was an ugly, grinded out game. Many were saying Vic Fangio's defense, the scheme was completely cooked, and yet they went into New Orleans to face what statistically was the best offense coming in, an offense that didn't punt until they faced the Philadelphia Eagles. Just an amazing performance by the Philadelphia Eagles, capped off with a game-sealing Reed Blankenship interception, which hit the over on the Derek Carr interceptions that I gave out on the prop show. Thanks to Rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Make sure you get your 7-day free trial over there. Love the Rhythm play on that. Almost would have hit the Singletary, Ryan, except for that crazy last run. But Rhythm put me on a lot of winning sides here with the props. I know I haven't seen the stats yet for week 3 for Rhythm, but I'm sure they crushed it because they had a lot of money line dogs popping up on the old AI models. Get in, start playing around with the model. This is the year to do it. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Kramer, just a great gutty win by the Philadelphia Eagles. The Jalen Hurts turnovers, inexcusable, but I will say, putting those turnovers in the past in the first half, did a great job. Great. They're down 12-7, ugly game, awesome game winning drive there by Jalen Hurts. That's what you want out of your franchise quarterback. Saquon just having an explosive running day, game sealing run, interception. Jalen Carter showing why he was a top 10 pick, just manhandling the Saints offensive line. Dallas Goedert career game. What was it? 10 for 170. Just put our fantasy team on his back. And
the neighbors outscored him, but
No, okay, he did. Nick Sirianni with just some befuddling decisions, like the fake. I like that you have a fake tush push play, but the great thing about the tush push is on 4th and 1 when you really need it and you can't fuck around, you just run it. They know it's coming. It's maybe not quite as good as it was when Kelsey, but it's still been very unstoppable. Just run the regular tush push. Don't get cute. When you're down 3 points and it's been an ugly back and forth game, get on the board with the field goal. Like Sirianni and they let up a block punt. So, I mean, the fact that the defense only allowed 12 points, considering the couple of turnovers by the offense, the block punt by the special teams, I thought it was just a masterclass by this defense, by Vic Fangio, really redeeming himself for last week, the end of the Falcons game. And we'll see if AJ Brown comes back because they need him. Devonta Smith, kind of a cheap late hit there, and then the players spit on him, which is fucking bullshit. And I hope we see you in the playoffs, New Orleans, because CJGJ has a chip on his shoulder. And then Lane Johnson got a concussion, was vomiting. So, and Mekhi Becton hurt his hand. They did this without
Lane Johnson vomits a lot.
Yeah, I mean, guy likes to party. That final drive they did without Devonta Smith, AJ Brown, Lane Johnson, and Mekhi Becton. So hats off to Jalen Hurts and the defense
and the two guys that ran into each other. That was huge. On the Dallas Goedert big play.
Oh yeah, well that was that was somewhat designed. It wasn't like a complete.
Sure, no,
accident.
I'm just saying.
You're running a crosser.
Oh,
to
I understand
that
how it works. I'm just saying that's why it
Yeah,
worked that big.
He would have still got the first down. He wouldn't have ran for 70 yards on that play.
Yeah, my take would be, I don't know if I'd victory lap the defense.
Okay.
I do think the offensive line for the Saints did not do a good job. I think they lose a guy or two in the game. They definitely got beat bad by the defensive line. I thought that was the difference. Jalen Hurts does not look good though. He like you said, he'll have moments, but he also has moments where he looks really bad.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
he's
like not like normal Jalen Hurts, like lacking awareness and just taking horrible sacks.
Couple bad sacks, but
maybe it's the offensive line.
Yeah, I think the offensive line gets fully healthy. You give him AJ Brown.
The fact that they have a fake tush push play is embarrassing, and it shows that Jason Kelce has missed.
What?
No, it's just we had some debates about if Jason Kelce would be missed in the tush push before the year.
The tush push has been still super
and I'm just
effective.
saying the existence of a fake tush push play suggests that they're worried about the
you've exposed yourself as a fraud.
What do you mean?
Because they had the tush push with Jason Kelce and they ran it successfully.
And I'm saying them pulling it out this early in the season.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
That's a horrible take.
What do you mean?
They ran it last year with Jason Kelce.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with Jason Kelce.
So the success of the tush push is the same this year as it was last year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean there was the fumbled snap by Hurts.
Okay.
So yes, in that case it wasn't. But overall, it's still been firing on all cylinders. And yeah, calling the fake tush push there, that had nothing to do with Jason Kelce. It was about Nick Sirianni being insanely cute, just like him not kicking a field goal.
Yeah. Well, he's just not good at decisions.
He's been horrible at decisions.
They should hire a decision guy. He needs. Does Dom do decisions?
I mean, I don't know what else he's doing if he's not
Dom
calling
just
plays.
got a new title. Get him another title. Head of decision making.
Jalen Carter is a fucking problem. Great game by the defense.
Yeah, especially behind the wheel.
Denver Broncos 26, Tampa Bay Bucks 7. Bo Nix, not horrible. So everyone who was piling on me saying I told you Bo Nix was gonna suck. Broncos are gonna suck. What are you doing? You're an idiot. And yeah, I did ignore and they pushed week 1, but I was against them week 2. I had the Steelers. So I think I have a decent handle on them. And we brought it up. You know, Sean Payton struggles those first couple of weeks. Week 3, he figures it out. I don't know why he does, but he does. And I was a little
calibrating.
I was a little nervous about Todd Bowles and the team in general, but this desperate Broncos team got the win, got the cover. It was just a quality win by the Broncos. When Vita Vea was out, I was like, all right, definitely going to be on them.
Yeah, I think if they're going to be able to, if they're going to face teams that are severely injured and lacking a lot of talent, and also going to be able to have,
I don't think Bucks lack a ton of talent.
They were without a ton of defensive linemen, a ton of defensive backs. You don't think they were depleted defense? That was part of our handicap.
Yeah, but I think they had a ton of talent on offense, and the Broncos held them to 7 points.
I'm not talking about the Broncos defense.
Okay,
I'm talking just about the Broncos offense.
Okay,
I think if they're gonna this was an optimal scenario for him to look good. So good that he was able to run the offense. To me the story is the defense. The defense got it going big time, and Baker turned it into a pumpkin maybe.
No, this was just it was a classic letdown spot for the Bucks after a huge win.
Surtain took Evans out of the game.
Yeah.
Our boy McMillan was nowhere to be seen.
No, the offense struggled. I think the Broncos defense is good. That's why I was on them preseason. Packers. I mean, was that not part of my handicap? I thought their defense would be good. I thought their defense is playing.
I'm just saying,
good.
I don't think Bo Nix in this offense is like I wouldn't be. I'd be stoked that they took care of business in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. People who were saying he was a bust after 2 games, I think were jumping ahead of things.
Sure, I don't. I still don't know if the Broncos are getting over their win total though.
I think they will, and I think playing the Steelers, I think is the best defense in the league, and then Seattle on the road. Like you look at the rest of the defenses they play, they're not playing defenses like.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, again, we've seen it from Peyton before. I just don't know how good this team can be with Bo Nix.
No, they went and beat Tampa.
Yeah, no, with a Tampa team that had nothing on defense.
All right,
that's all. I was on Denver. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why you're shitting on them.
Because I'm just not taking a lot away. I'm not upgrading them.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was high on them coming in, so yeah, I guess I'm not moving them up. Packers 30, Titans 14. I mean, I think we've already kind of hit on this. LaFleur did a great job coaching up Malik Willis. Will Levis is done. I do think the Titans defense is still kind of good. Didn't have a great game, but a lot of that was just the offense gives them nothing.
How do we get on the Dolphins next week? The Titans are road favorites, Sean, and Callahan reassured everyone.
This is a pass for me.
Will Levis will be starting next week. Already announced it, just like Canales announced it a couple weeks ago.
Joe saying, "Am I the only one drunk here? And I work tomorrow? Fuck. I've had a couple cocktails, Joe. So, we're enjoying a Sunday recap. Maybe if you're on the East Coast, it's getting a little late, but we appreciate everyone tuning in, smashing that subscribe button, spreading the word, telling a friend. Panthers 36, Raiders 22. As predicted, the Andy Dalton experience just lighting them up left and right. Antonio Pierce said, quote, some players made some business decisions today and indicated the coaching staff will have to make some business decisions moving forward. And
who do you think he's talking about?
I don't know. There wasn't anyone that jumped out at me. I guess they all played bad.
Samir White,
they all played bad. Like Panthers just came in. Andy Dalton from the jump was like, oh, playing in the NFL is awesome. Look at how easy it is. Bryce Young's fucking dumb.
Deontay Johnson was just wide open on every play. Too.
Yes.
It shows you how bad Bryce Young is.
It was just the perfect. Now I don't know. People who are on the over for the Panthers with Bryce Young, maybe they get bailed out here with Andy Dalton. I don't know. This could certainly be a mirage. It was a perfect situation spot for the Panthers, but I mean the offense. They at least have a chance now for the rest of the season, and you can evaluate your other guys. That's the other thing. Like. Bryce Young was so bad, like you can't evaluate, your rookie receiver. You can't evaluate. Hey, is Deontay Johnson worth keeping around? Like you don't even know.
So you're not worried about a 1-game surge because the backup comes in and everyone gets excited.
Oh,
you think this is real? Like carry it forward.
No. I just said I think this could be a mirage, but he is at least competent level quarterback play, which is really jarring how different it was.
So next week, Bengals laying 5.5 in Carolina. That running game was looking pretty good for Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be tough because there's certainly going to be a letdown. They don't have a ton of talent, but man, they look sharp.
Yeah, but that's the kind of spot where you love the Panthers.
Yeah,
you almost wish it didn't have Damn, if it was this week and Andy Dalton was coming in, I'd probably be all over him.
Oh, Andy Dalton revenge game of the Bengals. There is one player in the NFL, Ryan, with 300 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in one single game. Andy fucking Dalton.
He's got to be hitting some bonuses, some escalators on this contract.
Yeah. Right? Dolphins 3, Seattle 24. They just never. They never made it on the board there.
I mean,
Skylar Thompson was bad. Then once Tim Boyle came in.
Tim Boyle looked better. First of all,
he did. Yeah.
Second of all, they didn't look prepared.
No.
Generally, I would say the McDaniel teams look prepared. And is Seattle the most overrated team in the NFL right now?
I mean, they're 3-0, and you're just like, maybe I'm a hater, but
we're watching the game. It's just like Gino's doing fucking Josh Allen things. Well, just here's the ball. Take the ball.
They were letting them hang around, and that was like giving us some hope for the Dolphins. But
very weird game. Considering
the difference in rest and Seattle coming off an OT win, yeah, I guess hats off to Seattle. But I don't know. It's going to be rough with no Tua there for the Dolphins. Lions 20, Arizona 13. Did hit the over. 40 rushing yards at +160 that we gave out on the prop show, Ryan.
He was running around the whole first half.
Kyler, yeah, I was like, oh man, Kyler's going to hit 100. Just kind of hit the wall after 40.
Killed me. I thought we were hitting that.
Ugly game, but again, nice win. And, I was on Arizona. I didn't love it. It was like one of those where I was like, I could see it. I was going back and forth. Couldn't really.
Just trust me on Arizona picks.
Yeah, no, good call, Ryan.
Although Detroit, not like Jared. How has this offense look so bad this year?
Well, I thought it would be a good time to bring on our boy Easy.
All right,
Easy. What were your thoughts on that Lions win?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Yeah, I actually feel pretty good about it. The defense is taking a big step up, like I thought they would when we did the preview show. It's looked actually better at this point than I thought it would in week 3. The secondary is coming along pretty well. Sirianni Arnold finally seemed to get his footing in this one, where he didn't have him in the first 2. And the safeties are playing well. Obviously, we're getting more pressure than we did last year. Aiden Hutchinson already at 6.5 sacks.
It's insane.
To Kramer's point, the offense hasn't looked amazing, but I don't think it's looked bad necessarily either. I think we looked better today than we did last week for sure. So we kind of just need to stick with the run game for the most part, at least for these next couple weeks. The Seahawks, terrible run defense, Cowboys, awful run defense, and then just kind of build from there.
They had to win this game. So I guess fortunately for us, the game kind of worked. It was a weird game because it did appear at one point like there was going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, both quarterbacks are just making horrible throw after horrible throw. I mean, Jared Goff went back to looking like the guy that we named an island called Sucks Island after.
No, I mean,
just getting sacked in the most uncomfortable lawn chair ways.
Yeah, to Easy's point, like they just seem slightly out of sync. I can't really put my finger on it, and maybe it is. Like if they just stick with the running game, it balances the rest out. And yeah, good win defensively for the Lions.
Yeah, definitely proud of how the defense has gone so far. But yeah, Goff definitely needs to step it back up. I don't know what's going on with him. Look like he's kind of sliding back to what he looked like a couple years ago, even last year.
Very strange.
Easy. Any big cashes? How'd you do for the day? Tossing anyone in a locker?
Yeah, I'm
Well,
Charbonnet 2+ touchdowns and Derrick Henry 2+ touchdowns, but Mason couldn't get it done to cash a parlay for me.
So yeah, you cut out there for a second.
But the Charbonnet was the 2 touchdown parlay, 2 of the 3 legs, Sean.
Yeah,
I mean
who could
that is a sorry about that one. Sound like you were close. Appreciate you calling in, Easy, and of course, let it ride. All right, Ryan, let's
appreciate y'all.
Yeah, sounds good to hear from you, Easy. I think I actually accidentally moved Ryan into the crowd. All right. Ravens 28, Cowboys 25. Cowboys made it a game late. Kind of interesting there. Ravens were the other team I was considering locking up. I'm like, there's no way they're going to go 0-3, control the game for the majority of the game. I mean, they were up 28-6. Dallas kind of almost got in the back door, some garbage stuff, but bad times at Dallas. 1-2 in regular seasons, usually when they're awesome.
So I did highlight a potential scenario. I don't know if it was on the podcast, the VSiN show, might have even been the pregame show. If the Giants were to win,
yes,
and be coming into this Thursday night game with a little bit of confidence, and the Cowboys reeling after losing again to the Ravens. Well, that's happened now, Sean. I mean, they looked. I know the score says differently. They looked bad for most of this game. I mean, what are Cowboys?
Lamar looked good running around there. They're deep. I mean,
Derrick Henry had a Derrick Henry day somehow, even though he still looks.
The fountain of youth. We're gonna play that clip of Jerry Jones on next show. Everyone keeps sending us. That was pretty hilarious. Feel free to Google that one. Talking to Jamie Foxx.
Just talking about some measurements of some players.
I mean, it's just a disaster. Again, going back to what an awesome Sunday it was, and Justin Tucker continues to suck. It's really, I couldn't ask for more. Ryan missed a 47-yarder, almost cost the bet I made on the Ravens, but just always glad to see Justin Tucker not get it done. Miss big kicks.
Brandon Jacobs posted this on social. I don't care how sorry my teams are. When the Cowboys lose, I win. It's just that simple. Yes, sir. Again, the scoreboard suggests that this was a duel. Sorry, Cowboys.
This next game was a duel. Rams 27, 49ers 24. Rams get the cover and the outright win. It felt like this was a great game. It really was. And it felt like, oh man, the Rams are close. All right. 49ers are going to get it. Well, maybe we'll get the back door. We gave out the 7.5 on the show. And then, oh wait, look, Matty Stafford just throwing dimes. Brock Purdy, scrambling all over the place.
What a wild game.
It really was. I thought, okay, we'll be lucky. We'll catch a break. Maybe they'll get to overtime and win there. The fact that they won in regulation was just wild. And then San Francisco almost pulled out a crazy pitchy woo woo to win the game. So hats off to the Rams. A great example of an 0-2 team going up against a 1-1 team, and great example of these big dogs getting it done.
Man, and just a classic Shanahan choke job. Just a classic Shanahan.
Beautiful.
Juwan Jennings, I would imagine,
had himself a game.
Was in the Millie Maker this week, and Brock Purdy. I mean, mostly nice game, but geez.
Macon Bacon, our favorite New Zealand butcher, pointing out Tutu out there doing it, and he was Tutu Atwell had some.
That was a hell of a
action.
play.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy ass game. I mean, I'm like still looking at it. I'm like, how did the Rams win? Kyron Williams 2 touchdowns, that was huge. But yeah, Tutu Atwell with a massive catch late, 4 for 93. And Purdy played pretty good. 22 out of 30, 292, 3 touchdowns. Almost got to the Andy Dalton level.
Yeah, almost got to, it was what, 11
I'm gonna
yards?
call 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and Andy Dalton. And Tutu Atwell also, like, they called it back, but he hit DeMarcus Robinson for like a 50-yard a trick play. Tutu Atwell hit him. DeMarcus Robinson, it was like one of those where he's going to the ground, the ball moved slightly. They should have given it to him. It was awesome.
Yeah, not much to add there.
Yeah, great game, great win. Shout out to the Rams. Just ram it. Sunday night game, Chiefs 22, Falcons 17. Chiefs kind of keep winning ugly. Mahomes. I mean, look at Mahomes is. They always seem to get some calls, but good win on the road, non-conference road spot. But Mahomes, Ryan, 442 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He's kind of just been like. The bar is so high for Mahomes, and they are 3-0, but. Hasn't looked. Oh, sorry, and that was that didn't include his game tonight, but he's just looked a little off, right?
I mean, Rashee Rice 12 for 110. He certainly looked good. Our boy Carson Steele, 17 carries. Sean,
let's go, Carson.
I don't know if you saw the video that was posted. Apparently, his sister got married tonight during the game, and they had the game on the big screen. So
5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. I guess it's just like the 4 picks.
Yeah, I mean, look,
15th in yards. Obviously still makes a bunch of high level
throws. This is what they do. They figure it out as the season goes on. They haven't lost. I mean, this is the thing. They're not losing as they're figuring it out this year.
No.
And they're winning on the road in places that some people thought were going to be contenders in the NFC. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I see the chat talking about Travis Kelce being washed again. Maybe
I wasn't really high on Kelce coming in.
So the Kelce thing is interesting though, because
I guess I had him on the top 10 list, but I don't know. I don't think I drafted him a bunch.
Is this just the fact that people, Rice is better? They have the speed now, so they've kind of, and also Kelce's a great decoy.
Yeah,
especially if he's working on his acting.
He's a great second fiddle. Just as Taylor Swift.
So. But here's the real details. So he was out there for 57 snaps, which that led all skill position players for the Chiefs.
Okay.
So theory 1, throw it out. He ran 37 routes, which is as many routes as Rashee Rice ran, tied for first on the team. He just only got 5 targets. So perhaps just a game plan thing. Maybe the Falcons I haven't watched the all 22 yet, Sean, but maybe the Falcons are just trying to take Travis Kelce out.
Ryan, remember last week when Derek Carr was the MVP?
Yeah.
Don't look now. Will Levis only 6 passing yards behind Derek Carr.
Really?
Yeah.
Stop looking at those stats, Sean. That just
Bo Nix is more passing yards than Derek Carr. Almost like Derek Carr had a bad game, Ryan.
That's not useful to be looking there. Just go away.
Before, so we got our props coming up, Ryan. We do have another caller here. I see him in the chat.
Okay.
Shout out to Catfish Dilley. Bring him on the show. And of course, if you want to call in live, hit us up, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/discord, and get in on the Patreon, giving away $100 circuit tickets every week on the Patreon. Pick them from now until we stop heading out there. So yeah, Catfish Dilley, I invited you to speak. If you can hit accept, we can bring you on the show. While you're doing that, I'll shout out Underdog Fantasy. Man, fun times as always on the old Underdog Fantasy. Had Adam Thielen, which shout out to Underdog. They whatever happens when a player gets injured and they decide to just give you the entry back. They did that for the Adam Thielen receptions. I did hit the Adam Thielen higher touchdown. Fortunately, Carson Seal couldn't get it home. But man, so many ways to win. So fun playing over an Underdog Fantasy. Deposit now. Get the 50% deposit match up to $1,000, and that's a very limited rollover, if any, on that bonus. Very sweet. They keep. I mean, every time I open up the Underdog app, there is like a 20-30% profit boost. A higher half yard. Like, they do a really good job of making you fired up and making you want to get down on this sweet pick'em action. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Catfish Dilley, you're on the line. Hello, Catfish.
Yo. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how excited I am to be on here. First of all, I want to start by saying Giants 100% profit boost on FanDuel today in honor of Chris. Second of all, I cashed a Eagles underdog bet in honor of Sean.
Wow.
Let's go. So Catfish Dilley had a 100% profit boost on the Giants.
You're welcome.
Line.
I think he's saying thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Underdog pick'em he cashed because of the Eagles. Well, thank you, Catfish Dilley. Are you there, Catfish Dilley?
He could be at the bottom of the lake.
Yes, I'm here. Let me get rid of this YouTube stream and just get to the Discord, because Discord
there you go. Yeah, you're sounding great now. So yeah, where are you calling from? I like your profile.
I'm calling from your local Pennsylvania. Oh man, sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
I'm so drunk right now, Sean.
Oh wait, that has to be a drop. Sorry. I am so drunk right now.
I've said that before.
I'm here. Okay, first of all, I want to say, God damn the Giants. Yes, please and thank you, Giants.
You're welcome.
Second of all, thank you, Eagles. Thank you, Steelers, because you did me justice here in Pittsburgh. I live in Pittsburgh, outside of Pittsburgh. I want to shout out Dick Puncher, because Dick Puncher, he's the fucking man. I want to shout out Ryan fucking Gilbert, hockey gambling.
Let's go.
Okay. Joel Meyer, hockey gambling. Hockey is where it's at, baby boys.
Woo.
Hockey's coming up. Okay. Football is here now, but hockey coming soon. Okay.
The hockey guys are sending their people. This is they're subverting the show, Sean.
I know how much you guys love us hockey guys. Okay. But
let's go.
Yes. You know what? I never knew what I would do if I got on live with you guys right now. But okay.
Hey, that's all right.
Now. Hey, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. What do you got?
You ready?
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know what I'm ready to tell you for, but yeah.
Hey, Catfish.
Hey, just
how about this? Right.
Work it slow.
How about this, Catfish? I'm gonna
two on it.
Here's what I'm gonna say. If you could say, "Hey, this is Catfish Dilley. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride." Can you do one of those for us?
Hey.
Where's he going?
You're cutting out. Are you calling on a landline? What's going on here?
I think he's pacing. I think he's nervous and he's pacing, and maybe he walked away from the phone.
Cell phone, my phone's like dying.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't want to cooperate.
All right.
Look, all I want to say is thank God for the New York Giants. God bless the New York Giants. God bless the Eagles. Holy shit!
God
Sean,
bless
the Eagles.
Let's
what
go.
The hell. If we're going to be on the 12-yard line of the New Orleans Saints, why can't we get a touchdown? How many times do we have to be in the red zone to get a touchdown? And the Giants. I'm trying to put 100% profit boost on you and cash 3 weeks in a row, and you're giving me cardiac arrest here. Okay.
We almost killed Catfish. Well, Catfish,
You
hey man,
literally almost killed Catfish.
We don't want to kill.
We don't want to catch and
Noodling
release.
is illegal in all 50 states.
Catch and release on Catfish Dilley
is what I do.
Hell yeah!
All right.
You're a real man.
Awesome call, Catfish Dilley. Tell the Hockey Gambling Podcast boys we said hi, and let it slide, baby. Thank you for calling in, Catfish.
Don't blame this on them. Okay?
No.
They are not.
They're great guys. We like having them on the network. I thought he was going to say something. Hey, Catfish, you're welcome to call in anytime. All right. Oh man, that was.
There is a certain excitement there. Intoxicating.
Oh man, intoxicating is one word. Wow, that was great. Sometimes people are too drunk, but he was like the perfect. He kept going back to his like, but Giants, man, God bless the Giants, and then it would
I don't think God bless the Giants this season.
God. The Eagles, man. How many times the Eagles? And then it would just be like,
what do you think?
God bless. I'm calling from outside Pittsburgh. Oh man, Pennsylvania is such a fun state. I'm like, yeah, tell the Hockey Gambling Podcast guys who said hi. Don't blame them on it. Don't blame this on me.
You could tell this was a mission, and he got nervous, so he got drunk. And he almost screwed up the mission.
Oh, great work. And subscribe to the Hockey Gambling Podcast. Let it slide. All right, Ryan, we got to give out some props here. What do you like for the Monday night doubleheader?
You want to start first touchdown? You want to start props?
Props.
All right. This is a little bit double dipping, but I'm just going to continue to point this out to people because these prices are ridiculous. Khalil Shakir, the receiving yards has gone from 42.5 to 44.5. We still love it, Sean.
Okay.
But because I wanted to start off with some spice, 80.5 receiving yards is 5-1.
Wow.
So we're going to play Khalil Shakir over 80.5 receiving yards at plus 500. Again, we've seen this Jags defense. They're susceptible to be getting to the deep ball. I 100% think we're going to see this Bills team attack that way. And again, you see the distribution of the ball. Guess who has the highest yardage total for the Buffalo Bills? Khalil Shakir.
Really?
Yeah. So it kind of telling us that, but this feels like he could have and if you wanted to play the 100-yard, it's 10.
No one's stopping you.
It's 10.
Get the ladder.
Yeah, it's just
get the stick. This is a rhythm special. I'm co-signing.
Model or just gut model?
Model. Okay. Chase Brown over 24.5 rushing yards.
Interesting.
This Commanders team, you can just run all over. Singletary at 95 yards. They're not stopping anyone on defense. I think they're going to be able to throw and run all over them. Tons of yards to be had for the Bengals. Starting with Chase Brown over 24.5 rushing yards.
I have a second one from the Jags Bills game because they're still pricing Brian Thomas like he hasn't had a 47 and 90 yard game. 42.5 receiving yards for Brian Thomas over. Easy peasy. I almost got cute with longest reception 18.5, but it feels like he's a part of the offense here. So Brian Thomas over 42.5 receiving yards.
For me, Trevor Lawrence. I feel like played it last week. I'm going to run it back over 15.5 rushing yards. It feels like this Bills team is pretty decent at getting pressure. That creates opportunities for running quarterbacks. You know, I think rhythm's also on this one. 15.5. All it takes is one decent scramble for Trevor Lawrence. I think he could get loose. And yeah, I mean, what did 5 for 57 Kyler went for? Now he doesn't, you know, obviously he doesn't scramble as much or as well as Kyler, but 15.5, that's just one scramble for Trevor Lawrence. And I think with no Ingram out there, it creates some interesting opportunities for sure. So Kramer, what do you got?
Well, it's another one where it just doesn't seem to line up with the matchup, with how the team's been using the player, and it's Brian Robinson, 53.5 rushing yards over.
He's getting a ton of carries.
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why they're so hesitant to juice this up, especially in this matchup. Game 1 against Tampa, a team that is very difficult to run against, and a game they fell behind early. He got 12 carries, still only 40 yards. In game 2 against the Giants, a game they were a little bit more competitive, he went 17 for 133. I expect this to be somewhere nearer to the 17 or to like a 15 to 17 carries. But what does he have to get per carry to get over 54? I don't understand this yardage total at all. We've seen Cincy struggle to stop the running games. Easy. To me, the Brian Robinson and the Brian Thomas bets are just really basic handicaps. They're not watching they're slow to adjust these up enough. Anyway, that's prop number 3 for me.
Prop number 3 for you. Prop number 3 for me. Joey B. He's got T Higgins back. Jamar Chase.
Oh boy.
Finally hitting a rhythm. Over 261.5 passing yards. I just
really against that staunch Commanders.
I mean, the Commanders defense is horrible. Ryan, I hear your case of them maybe backdooring it, but
is T Higgins healthy?
No, he's going to be playing.
I wonder what that means.
I'm optimistic they're going to be able to throw all over him. And it's a desperate team. It's the classic 0-2 team versus the 1-1 team.
Oh, I'd 100%.
Which has been just smashing. So
if
far.
I was going to play Burrow, I would look to the yards.
Okay, so that's what we like for the props for Monday night. What about first touchdown? We'll start with the Jags at the Bills. What do you got, Ryan?
All right, we're doing so no Evan Ingram again.
Yeah, yeah, keep going. Do you like Bretton Strange?
I'm not
Luke
playing
Farrell?
either tight end.
Okay.
I am saying that the target share has been predominantly going to Gabe Davis and Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
And I know it may seem like Buffalo has been stopping the deeper stuff, but I wonder if their game plan isn't going to be to bottle up the run like the Browns did last week and go from there. So Gabe Davis is 20-1, Brian Thomas 17-1. On the other side of the ball, I'm getting a little more weird. It's hard to get super weird with the Bills. There's a couple guys you can get.
I mean, Matt Collins is 30-1.
Well, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Dawson Knox, Matt Collins, both 30-1. So
do you throw in a Parker Washington for the Jags? Is that too crazy? He's getting some snaps.
Yeah. I was doing this thing where I'll just Google, I'll go to Pro Football Reference and look at the snap. You can pull up the snap count for the entire team. And I love getting all the way down to the bottom to someone who's had like 5 to 10 snaps and just cross reference it to see if any of those have happened in the red zone.
What was your price on Dalton Knox?
Both same as Matt Collins, 30-1.
Okay, so yeah, I'm co-signing Dalton Knox. Always love a backup tight end, but this backup tight end actually has a role. Trevor Lawrence at 21-1 for the first touchdown. If I think he's going to be scrambling him, and he is a sneak quarterback.
I like that.
And they don't like giving it to ETN near the goal line because he fumbles. Tank Bigsby is banged up, so they really want that third running back. I think you could see an RPO by Trevor Lawrence, little fake scramble in. 21-1. I'm calling it. And then Ray Davis, going back to the Ray Davis well for the Bills. Maybe it's getting a little cute, but they clearly like this guy and want him involved in the offense. So those are the type of guys I'm looking to play in first touchdown stuff.
Well, it's weird too because it's not. It's like James Cook exists, obviously.
Yeah,
but they've given red zone touches to Ray Davis and Ty Johnson this season.
He went from week 1, 10% of the snaps to week 2, 31% of the snaps.
I think that was a little bit because they were up big.
Yeah,
but
but maybe. I mean, that's a decent jump. And Ty Johnson went from 23% down to 16%. I don't know. Clearly, like when he's in there, they're designing plays for him. So that
he's a thumper,
and he could break free on a little screen action. So, Commanders at the Bengals. First one, Austin Eckler, 25-1. I saw Austin Eckler running pretty hard there. I think that's kind of crazy. I mean, Jaden Daniels at 10-1. Like if you can shop around and find that 10-1, he does kind of fit the model.
Plus, you can get. I mean, Austin Eckler is their kickoff returner.
Yeah. So there you go. Get a little bonus.
At least sometimes when they're playing the Giants.
Yeah, and he's out there a ton. So yeah, 43% of the snaps. They got him running. They got him passing. He seems like he's running pretty hard. I just don't think their offense is amazing. That's kind of limiting his fantasy ability overall. Other first touchdown. Give me Drew Sample for the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's a good one.
Thank you. And you, Ryan, you were also on this. You found him at 50-1. Gesicki, no, Tanner Hudson was the other guy that was like involved in the offense, got a red zone target and catch. He is out. So that action is going to be going to Drew Sample, who has had, I feel like we've been on some Drew Sample stuff before, and he's had some decent primetime games. Clearly, Joey B trusts him. So Drew Sample 50-1, Austin Eckler 25-1.
All right. So I kind of agree that Jaden Daniels at 10-1 is almost a must play, but there's two other guys I liked more. One, Brian Robinson. His usage in the red zone, not to throw. I almost played Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson just because they like to throw to both running backs as well. So longer screen plays are in play. But once they get in the red zone and they're handing the ball off, it seems like they really like Brian Robinson. The other guy, we're gonna go backup tight end hunting because everyone knows the backup tight end, the rookie, but John Bates is out there. Plenty. He's a blocker, which means what, Sean? 12 personnel by the goal line, 100-1.
What?
Yeah. Welcome back, my sweet a backup tight end that's 100-1 on the first touchdown market. Yes, please.
Love it.
On the other side, Sample 50-1 and Trenton Irwin 40-1. Way too involved. I think Higgins could be a little bit more of a decoy.
Okay.
And he's 40-1. His target involvement doesn't match that, so we'll take a stab at that one. Really, I'm just angling for a John Bates mega whale.
I like it.
You want to build a little
sprinkle?
Yeah, you should sprinkle. You want to do a little underdog?
Sure. Let's get out of here. Fire up the old underdog fantasy. What do you got, Kramer?
We didn't discuss the James Cook, any real James Cook angles, but how about his receiving yards? 15.5. He's gone over that both games this season.
Okay.
He went over that in one game against the Dolphins.
Yeah. You talk me into it.
Okay. Tag, you're it.
Well, I mean, we got a
4 games makes it a little more fun on this.
I'm putting in the Joe Burrow higher half yards as a promo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do the. They have a 20% profit boost. I like the Joe Burrow passing yards. I think he's going to be able to slice them.
Okay.
You in for that, Ryan?
Sure.
Oh, I know you like your Commanders. I could go to.
No. It's a good matchup. I can appreciate that.
All right. So higher Joe Burrow passing yards. One more.
All right. So what would the one more be? Do we want to get something on the Jag side, or are we looking to play a commander? I mean, the rushing yards for Brian Robinson, I know that was one of my props, but that does seem
54.5.
It's quite low.
All right. Talk me into it.
It's a good matchup.
So James Cook higher 15.5 receiving yards, Joe Burrow 263.5 higher passing yards, Brian Robinson 54.5 rushing yards.
I get that boosted up to over 7x.
Let's get it. These boosts are so fun. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and tell a friend. That's how SGPN keeps the lights on, keep going, building the empire and taking down corporate gambling. Very fun NFL Week 3, and we got 2 more games left. We'll be breaking down Monday Night Football and talking early look Thursday night props after the late game.
My boost limit went up, so let's go.
Oh wow, let's go.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Oh, Cowboys are really bad.
Kramer, let it ride.
Yes, sir.